Here's how
Yeah,
you do it.
yeah. So one of my favorite taglines, I have two when I usually finish videos, it's be more interested than interesting, be kind to your future self, do good deeds. And these two simple truths have helped so many people to do the simple things because the simple things to do are simple not to do all the time, like saying thank you. And so think about what the idea of being more interested than interesting is. It's actually in the same realm that you're seeking the light, the love, and the lessons in every person, relationship, circumstance, event in your life. You're seeking what you want out of it so that the detours in your life are not punishment, they become promotion, protection, and love because you're more interested. And it came about when I was 18 years old, wanted to be a professional football player, played football in college, still was the fastest one on my college football team, just not the biggest by far. And so my very first play as the bullet on the kickoff team, I ran down the field, tried to tackle the ball carrier who literally threw me off with one knee and then stepped on me. And I was lying on my back thinking what my mom had told me about being a professional football player, doctor, lawyer, or failure. That I'm lying on my back going, fuck, doctor, lawyer, or failure. That's my future. My brother was in med school. I'm 18 years old and I see this all the time. This is for you too. I see this all the time. People say, Mr. Meltzer, I want to be a sports agent just like you. I want to do movies, TV, just like you. Well, I went to the hospital and I told my brother, I want to be a doctor just like you. And he said, well, what's the matter? I said, I hate hospitals. And he goes, you want to be a doctor, but you hate hospitals. I'm like, I'm going to be a sports doctor. I'm going to be in sidelines and locker rooms. I'm not going to be in the hospital. And he literally said to me, David, you need to be more interested than interesting. Because I hadn't actually done any type of intentional work about being what I wanted to become. I hadn't looked at what you got to do, say, think, feel, and believe in order to be a doctor. Because remember, what you pay attention to, being a doctor, and then put your intention in equals the coinciding of what you want or better. It creates the consequences, results in your life. It's a simple mathematical formula, which is why I use time each day in the circumstances of the day to learn the lessons aligned with where I want to be or better, because it allows me time to be intentional about the activities of today in the context of the circumstances of today. So many people don't put things in the context of today, so they have unrealistic expectation of outcome, and it literally deters them from the activity that creates the progress or the behaviors that create the progress to where you want to be. Because the only instant result of behavior, it's not outcomes. It's a guaranteed outcome of behavior. Good behavior is only determined by you. Bad behavior is only determined by you. What do I mean by that? My good behavior may be your bad behavior and vice versa, determined upon what? Where we want to be or better. Our divine direction. It's different. So good behavior to me is my behavior aligned with where I want to be or better? Therefore, good behavior creates good progress, even though we don't understand or know it. So when I lost everything, over $100 million went bankrupt, somebody would have told me, oh, that's amazing progress that you've made there, Dave. You're so lucky. You're being protected, promoted, and loved by God. You're so blessed. You just go tell your mom that you lost everything, including her home, and she has to move. Hey, that did not feel that way. But 18 years later, I know it was. And so I created this faith of understanding good behavior creates good progress, bad behavior creates bad progress. Good is defined by where I want to be or better. Bad is defined by what interferes with where I want to be or better. And so utilizing this mindset of understanding our behaviors, we can now get to where we want to be or better by being more interested, which means, do you understand the intentionality, Napoleon Hill talked about defined purpose. All that is intention. Your divine purpose, if your purpose is greater than your pain, you'll never fail. I'm going to repeat that. If your purpose is greater than your pain, you'll never fail. That doesn't mean you won't make mistakes. But the only thing that determines whether you fail or not is whether you quit, and you'll never quit if your purpose is greater than your pain. You will quit if you allow the pain to be greater than your purpose. And then you failed. I promise you, it's the only way you fail. Otherwise, you're like Edison. You've just created 10,000 ways to create light or electricity or sound that didn't work. That's all you did. But you created something. You made progress, good progress, and eventually you might actually create something that is what you want or better, like electricity or a radio or something significant in your life. That's important to you. Yes, Luke.
Decision making as an entrepreneur, good, bad? Is it now you got lots of deals going on? How do you make decisions? You got so much going on around you, deal flows.
Yeah, so decision making is done by prioritization. Prioritization is the antidote to procrastination or feeling overwhelmed, especially if you have a lot of options, opportunities, and touches of favor. Most people feel punished by that. You're actually blessed. You understand that if you have a lot of opportunities, options, and touches of favor, then you're living in abundance. Your problem is you don't know how to prioritize, and most people that can't prioritize are victims to feeling overwhelmed and procrastinating. And even moreover, the solution is to take inventory of what's important to you according to the circumstances of the day by looking to the lessons of what you've learned already and others have learned around you and setting forth a divine direction so that you can handle the detours as divine and most importantly allow for divine time, which assists you in not getting frustrated that things always take longer and cost more money than you thought they would. And so for me, I am a king of prioritization and reprioritization, which leads to quick decisions because I know what I want each day and I'm intentional about it in the divine direction of where I want to be. I know who can help me and who can help, I can help, because the fastest way to get to where I want to be is ask someone that's already there how to get there and help someone get to where they want to be. And then I just use time to utilize the 24 hours of today as the common denominator of human experience to be productive, accessible, and gracious with activities, planned, unplanned, sleep, paid for, unpaid for, that best are prioritized to where I want to be or better. So I'm an expert at time by using the lenses of productivity, accessibility, and gratitude to facilitate the importance in my life. And so when things happen that aren't planned, in other words, I come up with a well-developed plan every single day, but I know God's going to laugh at me. He loves to laugh at people that have well-developed plans. But I've outwitted the devil and God because I know how to reprioritize my day because I've already studied the open space in my calendar and I already know what's important to me. So when God laughs at me and comes up with a circumstance like in-laws in town, flat tires, plane delays, or whatever else may happen when he's like, ha, 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 you thought you were so efficient. I'm like, F you. I got a space right here that I'm going to put what was planned right here. And I know what's important to me. And I'm going to take care of your detour and make that divine as well, because that detour is coming from you. It is divine. It's here to promote me, protect me, and love me, and teach me the humility that I need in order to get to where I want to be faster, better, accelerated with an exponential outcome. So faith and wisdom shorten the distance of the detour. It's faith and wisdom that do that, and I am in that humility at all times. And if I'm not, I'm shortening the distance when I'm creating an accelerating fear or the reaction to fear. Hi, Danny.
What's your name? How can I follow you?
Thank you. So my name's David Meltzer. If anybody wants to follow me, it's my name, David Meltzer. I also give everyone my email and my cell phone number. So my email is david@dmeltzer.com. Everything I do, I send for free. Books, I sign them, send them, pay for shipping and the book, david@dmeltzer.com. Exercises, guides. I've been doing free Friday trainings for over 25 years. I'm on this tour. One of the things I negotiated to be on this tour was they allowed me to do a meetup at every one of these, and they can use me for whatever else they need me for. And then my cell phone. I love giving out my cell phone for two reasons. All I ask is you call me, don't text me, because texts get lost. Call me and leave me a message if I don't answer. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to give you my number, 858, go ahead, 858 688 3294. 858 688 3294. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to give my number out, and everyone's going to be like, oh my God, this guy is going to be able to help me. And then you're not going to call me. I have a wait list for my one-on-one coaching and business advisory. And my favorite thing about those businesses is that I even have clients that pay me a shitload of money, Golf Oil, Verb, Senegence, Eros Entertainment, And I will have the chairman of a multi-billion-dollar company call me eventually with a problem. I'm like, dude, why didn't you call me? I'm on call. You're paying me a ton of money. Oh, I didn't want to bother you. Well, that's a great business model. Have a ton of people pay you to be available to help them, but too afraid to bother you. You can have thousands of people in that business and make millions of dollars. I encourage you to do it. What's going to happen is most of you won't call me even if you need me. I promise you, if you call me and leave me a message, I will get back to you and I will help you. So david@dmeltzer.com, 858-688-3294. And if there's someone else that can help you, don't be afraid to call them or ask me for their number. I'd be happy to give it to you. All right, next question.
Right here, Dave.
Oh, sorry.
All right. Hello. Best way to get data from my clients and how to catalog it.
I love it. What's the best way to get data from your clients and catalog it? Well, first of all, let's start with the cataloging it, because I think I'm one of the top content capturers in the world. Not maybe the best content creator, but I pay for people to create content from what I capture. But I do more interviews, speeches, meetups, holding courts, VIP dinners, and I capture that content, and then I create systems to create it. So I want people to build a system for themselves to capture what resonates with you. Either your essence, your frequency, your vibration, or other people's essence. And how do we know it? We either get this feeling of strong agreeability or we get a feeling of strong disagreeability. So when I strongly agree with something that I see, hear, think, believe of someone else or myself, I capture it, I put it into a repository, catalog it, and then I go ahead and create a searching mechanism. For me, I take all those lessons and I create a notation next to it. So here's my process. If one of you would say something like, you're either humble or you're about to be, which is one of my favorite mantras. I have to remind myself all the time is I've regained this amazing fulfillment in my life. And I step outside myself. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You're either humble or you're about to be. Well, I'll capture that. I'll email myself. It goes into a folder called Capture. And then on Sunday, I take the time to read all the things that resonate with me, I strongly agree with or strongly disagree with it, and then I attach a notation of a story that best tells that lesson in my life. Like losing everything and having to tell your mom you lost her house, even though the only reason you want to be rich was to buy her that house. So I'll just put mom's house next to you're either humble or you're about to be. Then I create subcategories so that I can utilize those in interviews, teachings, trainings, masterminds, speeches, all the things that I do. So that's the cataloging side. And then the first part of the question was, how do I synthesize the data? So it's out of that resonation of I'm looking for things that are, for me, my intuition is aligned with my intelligence and my inspiration. So 3 criteria for me to synthesize the data. There's tons of AI that will do it for you, obviously. But for me, I'm looking for, does my intelligence align with this? Does my intuition align with it? And is my inspiration aligned with it? Am I inspired in spirit by that? And so I'm going to then surround myself with all these great ideas and the people that create those ideas. People ask me, how did you lose over $100 million? You have a law degree, a business degree. You obviously had a lot of great connections running the most notable sports agency in the world, Samsung's data division, all the things I've done. How the hell does someone like you lose everything? I'll tell you how. 1, I didn't ask for help. And 2, I surrounded myself with the wrong people and the wrong ideas. So if you want to maintain or sustain growth in your life, then surround yourself by the right people and the right ideas, which is why you're here. But also, the harder part is ask for help, because if you surround yourself with the right people and the right ideas and you don't use my email or my cell phone number or call Dan Fleischman or Tim Story or Eddie or Andrew or whoever it is that you like here, David Goggins, if somehow you're not asking for help from the people that are already where you want to be or better, then you're going to pay the dummy tax. And I know a lot of people don't like to live in California anymore or New York because they're complaining about the extra taxes. I say F you to everyone that doesn't want to live there because of taxes. There's many other reasons not to want to live there, but if you don't want to live in those places because of taxes, you're a fool. Because dummy tax, it'll cost you everything you ever have and everything you will have. And that's an easy tax that you don't have to pay. You can live in California, find Tim's story, have him give him directions to where he is, and you won't have to lose all your money. And you'll make twice as much money in the future. Great question. Yes, sir. And then you.
This is a little personal, but my name is Joe Rodriguez.
What's your name?
Joey Rodriguez.
Eric Joe. Hi, Joe.
Hello. My question is, I tend to be somebody that doesn't ask for help as well, and I find that my hardest challenge so far is finding a mentor that I can trust and that actually wants best for me. I'm 22 years old, so I'm still quite young. Where do I go about finding a mentor in the right group?
Call me, email me, but if there's someone else, they're all over the place. They're on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, they're on stages, they're at masterminds, they're at any expos that are around, but call me. I will give you, tell me where you want to be according to job, career, industry, mindset, heart set, handset. Find someone. I'm 1 degree of separation from a ton of different world thought leaders. I also can provide anyone that is interested in books, podcasts, any type of content that may be aligned with where you want to be or better. Has anyone here read Napoleon Hill, for example? Anyone? So one of the things that I'm announcing on Saturday is I just became chairman of Napoleon Hill Institute to revive Think and Grow Rich, Outwitting the Devil, all the greatest foundational principles that have built most of the great executives in America and most of the thought leaders have studied Napoleon Hill. But because they don't and aren't good at what we now know in social media, digital amplification, I'm going to revive that. And so, whether it's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich, whether Rockefeller's 38 letters to his son. Why do I read Rockefeller's 38 letters to his son? Well, I want to be where Rockefeller is. He gave his son 38 letters of direction, a map. And nobody's out there reading it or listening to it. And it gives so many great answers. And so if you need to find someone, reach out to me. I do a ton of stuff for free. I have groups that are one-on-one groups with me, other people, digital, just show up virtually, replays, everything for free. Books, guides, exercises. And I have a wait list to be mentored by me personally, or I'll give you other people to be mentored by. No matter what your budget is, free to $25,000 a month to $100,000 for a day. I know them all. So if you're 19 or 90, I have something that can help you. I will help you. But you have to take the action. Great question. All right, right here. Hi.
Hi, David. My name is Ahmed.
Ahmed, here's a fake microphone to record your name.
Hi. So my question is, in last 25, 30 years of my life, I've been working goal after goal, and I'm in a place where difficult goals I have been able to, whatever I set for myself, I've been able to achieve.
That's sad.
But you talked about fulfillment a minute back, and fulfillment and happiness is something which is very short-lived. I'm not able to find where the gap is coming from.
Yeah.
And I feel at times the happiness is very short. What do you think?
Okay, so the question is, I've had a successful career for about 30 years. I've achieved everything that I wanted out of my career. But yet, it seems that fulfillment and happiness are short-lived. You know how many times I hear this? It's because we don't understand outcomes. First of all, you should never achieve everything that you wanted. We don't put limitations on everything. Remember, your self-image, you will never overachieve your own self-image. So if your self-image says, I've achieved everything in business I wanted, then add 2 words, or more, or better. I want to make over $100 million. I want to empower over 1 billion people. Now I never can tell you that I've achieved everything I wanted.
That would still mean that I'm chasing the goal.
Correct.
But where's the happiness factor? It's missing.
So where's the fulfillment, the passion, the purpose, and even sometimes the profitability? It's in the understanding of your why. Most people are in search of their why. Where is the fulfillment, Dave? I have a beautiful wife, a beautiful family, as much money as I ever dreamed. I was there in my early 30s, over $100 million. Married to my dream girl, 3 daughters, healthy, happy, beautiful, under 10. I could buy whatever I wanted. And I grew up poor, so I thought that was everything. But I had never been so empty in my life because I was always in search of my why. Believe it or not, and I never thought I'd be saying this in public, and I say it all the time, the difference of understanding it is that it's my faith. It's my faith. When you believe, and I don't care what religion, philosophy, theory, or spirituality that resonates with you, you can tell me what you believe in, and I have one question. Is it bigger than you, and does it love you, protect you, and promote you more than your mom? Because if you don't believe that you are protected, promoted, and loved by something bigger than you, an omniscient, all-powerful, all-knowing source, an infinite, abundant source, a unified source that is protecting, promoting you in love, then you'll be in search of your why forever. But if you start working on your faith like I have, then all you do every day is apply your why. I am not worried because I'm part and parcel to the infinite. I'm only focused in on what am I doing to interfere with my wisdom and my faith, because it's my wisdom and faith that shorten the distance of resistance in my life, the insecurities, fears, reactions of fears that are holding me from my potential, my truth, not your truth, not what's missing, not what I don't have, not what you want for me, my truth and what I want. I'm applying my why. Most people cannot understand the energy I have. And my answer is you have the same. I just practice not interfering with it. We all have the exact same energy. It's infinite. Your cellular structure can't handle it. When you go to a Tony Robbins Platinum event and you come home achy and sore and sick and you wonder why, it's because your cellular structure cannot handle the amount of energy that you were sustaining for 2 or 3 days. Apply your why by identifying what you're doing to interfere with where you want to be or better. Shorten the distance of resistance in your life, and you will consistently, the majority of the day, not all the day, because you're going to get kicked in the teeth every day. I say on average about 8 times a day, I get kicked in the feet. The difference in my life now is I don't spend days, weeks, months, and years whining about the pain and punishment in my life because I got kicked in the face. Minutes and moments. Minutes and moments. I identify how I react to fear, shorten that distance, and elevate and accelerate into the direction